The late afternoon sun lay heavy over the Arizona highway, turning the asphalt into a shimmering ribbon stretching endlessly through the desert. The rumble of motorcycles cut through the stillness as 5 HellsAngels rode in formation, cruising back toward Flagstaff after a weekend charity run. Their patched leather vests flapped in the warm wind, dust swirling around their wheels. Despite their intimidating appearance, the men were relaxed, chatting over radios, the mood easy and calm. That calm shattered in seconds. Up ahead, near an old service road, movement caught Mason, Ironhand, Cole's eye. He slowed his Harley, frowning. "Hold up," he said into the mic. The others pulled beside him, following his gaze. A rusty pickup truck was parked crookedly near a ditch, dust still settling around it. Then they saw it. An elderly woman shoved roughly toward a dumpster-like pit, her frail body stumbling before she disappeared into the shadows below. "Did he just," muttered Ryder, the youngest of the group. "He threw her," Ironhand growled, disbelief turning quickly into anger. "That bastard threw her." The 5 men watched as the driver, her own son, from the way she was pleading, jumped back into his truck. Without hesitation, he slammed the door and sped off, tires spitting gravel. Ironhand didn't wait. His instincts, sharpened by years of riding, fighting, and protecting his own, kicked in instantly. "Mount up, Ryder. Check on the lady. Rest of you, with me." Engines roared like thunder as the 4 bikers shot forward, turning around sharply and tearing down the road after the fleeing pickup. Ryder hopped off his bike and sprinted toward the ditch, calling out gently, "Ma'am. You hurt? Don't move, I'm coming down." Meanwhile, the chase intensified. The pickup, old but fast enough, fishtail-ed as it swerved onto the open stretch of highway. Ironhand tightened his grip on the throttle. "He's not getting away," he said, voice steady but burning with fury. Beside him, Tank, massive, tattooed, known for his silence until provoked, gritted his teeth. No one throws their own mama like trash. The desert wind whipped at their faces as they closed the distance. The pickup driver kept glancing in his mirror, panic growing. The HellsAngels weren't just gaining, they were hunting. Ironhand flipped to the emergency channel. "Ryder, status." "She's alive," Ryder answered, breathing hard. "Bruised up. Scared, says his name's Daniel. He's her son. Ma'am says he didn't want to deal with her anymore." His voice cracked with disgust. Ironhand's jaw tightened. "Copy that. Stay with her. We've got the rest." The 4 motorcycles streaked across the blazing road, determination in every movement. They weren't lawmen, but they were men with a code, one older, and often stronger, than the law itself. Out here in the empty desert, where no one else had stopped, they were the only line between justice and cruelty. And they were closing in. The pickup truck sped dangerously along the Arizona highway, weaving between lanes as if the heat shimmering off the asphalt confused the driver. But the man behind the wheel wasn't distracted, he was terrified. In his rearview mirror, the 4 HellsAngels grew larger and closer, their powerful motorcycles slicing through the desert wind like predators closing in on wounded prey. Mason, Ironhand, Cole pulled ahead slightly, positioning himself to the left of the pickup. "Tank, cut him off if he tries to swerve again," he ordered through the mic. Tank grunted in acknowledgement, his massive frame steady despite the speed. The driver panicked. He jerked the wheel toward Ironhand, trying to ram him off the road. Bad mistake. Ironhand anticipated it. He leaned his bike just enough to avoid the hit, then slammed his boot against the truck's door as it passed, rocking the vehicle. "You wanna play dirty?" Ironhand shouted. "I grew up in dirty." Brick, riding behind Ironhand, revved loudly to intimidate the man. Smoke puffed from the truck's exhaust as the driver floored it, aiming for the exit ramp leading to an old desert gas station, the only structure within miles. "He's running for the station," Brick warned. "Probably hoping for a crowd." "He's hoping for luck," Ironhand corrected. But luck ran out the second he touched his mother. The group tightened formation. The gas station sat half abandoned, one working pump, a flickering sign, and a dusty convenience store with faded posters in the windows. A single older man in a trucker hat stood outside refilling his soda, watching the coming chaos with disbelief. The pickup skidded into the lot, the driver trying to slip between two parked cars to lose the bikers. But tank and brick shot forward, blocking both ends of the narrow lane. The truck screeched, halted, and nearly fishtailed into a propane tank. Iron Hand rolled up beside the driver's window. "End of the road," he said coldly. The man's eyes darted, desperate. "You don't understand. She's old, she's sick. She's a burden." Tank stepped off his bike, towering over the window. "People like you are the burden," he said, voice low like distant thunder. Before the confrontation escalated, distant sirens wailed across the desert, fast approaching. The trucker hat man raised his hands. "I called the cops. Saw you boys chasing him. Figured something bad happened." Iron Hand nodded once. "Good call." Minutes later, two sheriff cruisers pulled in, dust swirling around their tires. Officers stepped out, hands on holsters. "Everyone stay put," the lead deputy ordered. Ryder arrived then, riding up with the elderly woman carefully seated behind him on the bike, wrapped in his leather jacket. Her silver hair fluttered weakly in the wind, but her voice was steady. "That's him," she said, pointing with a trembling hand. "My son. He tried to leave me to die." The officers exchanged grim looks. The driver sagged against the wheel, exposed and defeated. The deputies cuffed him without hesitation. One officer turned to the HellsAngels. "Looks like you boys did good today. Could have gone real bad if you hadn't stepped in." Iron Hand simply nodded. "Nobody throws family away. Not on our road." As the sun dipped low and the police escorted the man away, the bikers gathered around the elderly woman. She looked at them with misty eyes. "Thank you," she whispered. Iron Hand smiled gently. "Ma'am, we just did what was right."